I'm joining with some of the guys from Dinghy Cruising Tasmania for a journey down the Huon River on our way to the Kettering Wooden Boat Rally. In this episode, Matt shows us how launching is done. I lead the way in a race down the river. Sarah Ann has a brief encounter with a shrubbery. Not sure how that got there. We encounter a pirate ship, and Richard has a cup of tea before being towed to our secret destination.
What are you doing, Captain Cat?
Morning tea.
Put it off as long as I can, and it's time to start preparing the boat for the road. So I've got about a 3.5 hour drive down to the Huon River for the start of the initial sail up through the D'Entrecasteaux Channel and into Kettering, where day one of the Kettering Wooden Boat Rally starts on Friday evening for registrations. The forecast is for light and variable winds a lot of that time, so I better make sure that the Volvo is ready to go. Tyre pressure and bearings, check. Check. Secured to the post. A little bit of a gap here so that this load is not transferred directly to the stem. So I've just had a lovely chat with John that runs the jet boat up the Huon River. Premises over here. So he happens to have a jetty. John has said it's fine for me to park here and it's fine for me to tie up to the jetty there. Let's get started. We are on John's jetty. John runs the jet boat service here on the river. I'll put all these details there, so if you want an exciting jet ski ride up the Huon River, you can give him a buzz and make a booking. I am on first-hand account that there's an 18-foot boat here that John launches. Rigged my boat on the launching ramp. Normally that's pretty bad form. Everything came together nicely, so I can get organised while I'm tied up to the wharf, which is very handy. Matt and Richard turned up first thing in the morning as promised, and it didn't take them very long at all to rig their boats, and pretty soon we were all afloat on the river and raring to go. Time to sum up the day. When I got down here, I took one look at the launching ramp and I thought, oh no, that's not going to work. So I drove down the road heading east, down the side of the river, looking for a better place to launch, and I did find a little ramp there, which I'll show you in a minute. Oh dear. So I came back to this one, and then I met the delightful John. He started the jet boat business in 1989. Jump in John's jet boat and head up the river to the rapids. Really good local knowledge, like where the sunken logs are beside the river. Sarah Ann draws 2 feet, and a sunken log which is just below the surface could be quite nasty. This is the first time I've had a fridge on board, and touch wood, and there's plenty of that around here, the voltage is going to hold up. So at the moment it's sitting on 13.7. The main thing is the beer is really cold. Really refreshing beer. That's what the label says, and it is. It's my favourite. Cheers. When we struck out for the D'Entrecasteaux Channel from Huonville, it was totally windless. But my travelling companions have boats that like totally windless days. And of course it helps to have about 2 knots of current with us. So I decided to follow suit and pull up the sails and see if I could sail in no wind whatsoever. Every now and again a little puff of about 2 or 3 knots would come across from the west, and it was just enough to keep the steerage. There's not a lot of wind. What there is coming from the west, which is what they predicted, but we have got a bit of tide running in our favour, so we're kind of drifting, sailing. Enough of a puff of wind occasionally just to steer it back on course to the centre of the river. So getting momentum may not be that easy. In the next stretch there, looks like Matt might have found a bit of breeze there. I've been travelling at a fair pace lately in life. Now it looks like it's time to travel at a different pace, the pace of the river. Well, we're doing a knot or two. I jury-rigged a bit of a pole and get the jib out to this side because the wind mostly is coming from directly behind us. There's one thing that Sarah Ann has that the other 2 lightweight construction boats don't have, and that is bog. The good thing about that is it keeps going in the lulls. The bad thing about that is that when we get a little bit of a gust, they take off like cats. There's no way in the world, they just disappear, out of sight. There's nothing like choosing the slowest form of transport known to man and then setting out in a race. It's the first bit of sunshine for the day. Hopefully that cloud's going to burn off. I do enjoy the sun, but the main thing is I want to get a bit of sun on my solar panel so that I can keep my beer cold and start the engine if I need to, of course. It looks like something very nice hidden away in there. An amazing setup that they've got there. Just beautiful beside the river. Sailing yacht and a motor vessel. So I have them in my sights now, but I've just sailed into a hole. A beautiful glassy hole. Totally sublime. And they've got wind. Now I seem to have gathered a shrubbery at the top of my mast. Not sure how that got there. Someone must have climbed up there and played a trick on me. Not sure, but I think this is Franklin. Tomboy behind me there in his Pathfinder. Wind's stiffened up to about 12 knots. Very steady. Very nice sailing breeze.
Yep, that sea breeze has picked up now. There she is. She looks absolutely beautiful. Credit to you, Christopher. That really is a lovely boat. All right, the race is on. Now we've got a little bit of a race going on. Oh, he's tacking. There he goes. All right, I'll put the camera down and tack too. There's Christopher. And there's Richard. What are you doing, Captain Cat?
Morning tea. Cheers.
Cheers.
Very nice sail. Heading down the Huon River. Excitement there. Gear breakage. Matt broke a yard or something. I'm motor sailing back across to the southern side of the river where Richard is. Matt sailed across there with his broken yard. So I'll join him over there and see what the state of play is.
There you go. I've doubled back just to check him out.
I was fortunate enough to meet a very kind gentleman by the name of Michael that built this little cottage here. What an amazing start to the day. The wind got up a lot earlier and a lot stronger than was expected, so I can't sail Sarah Ann round the corner and up to Kettering as I'd hoped to, up the Doncaster Channel. So we had to come up with another plan, and the trailer was back at Huonville, which is about 19 nautical miles up the river, and that's where I'd left the trailer where we launched. So Richard, one of the members of the Dinghy Cruising group down here, was kind enough to row me ashore. Now, this is me standing on the shoreline, and That's Sarah Ann out there. I was rowed ashore, and I don't really relish the prospect of a swim across that bay to get to Sarah Ann, but if no one turns up to ferry me out, that's what I might have to do. So I'll wait for a little while, see if something turns up. Now, in fairness, I had to make a very quick decision. So the call came on the VHF. Chris, Michael's waiting here on the shore. He's about to head off to Hobart, and he's agreed to give you a lift up to Huonville. Well, it was a really great offer, but I didn't have time to think it through, did I? I'll come out and pick you up, he said. All right, so he rows out, picks me up, comes to shore, jump in the car with Michael, head up to Huonville, pick up my ute, turn around, come back, drive back, park in the car park, and then, oops, how am I going to get to Sarah Ann? Hopefully someone will come and launch a boat, but it's not a very likely day for that because it's blowing its guts out there. And here come my angels. So there we have it, my angels arrived, brought me out to Sarah Ann. We've got car, drawbar, and drawbar, and drawbar, and drawbar, and drawbar. Then we've got trailer. And then out there we've got boat. And now the time's to connect the car and the boat to the trailer. And while I'm playing around here, it's starting to rain, so I better get on with it. Had I decided to sail back, this is what I would have been fighting. So good luck, Matt. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Next week I'll be providing you with a lot more footage from the Kettering Woodenboat Rally. It means a great deal to me when you like these videos and when you subscribe to the channel. It keeps the channel going. We'll see you next time on the water, and I'm off to Low Head for a week, where, weather permitting, I'll be taking Sarah Ann and sailing around the heads of the Tamar River, and hopefully even catching a few fish.